We are in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, about to go on to US 41, 10 miles south of Copper Harbor, passing through what is commonly called the Tunnel of Trees. And I got the new tires in my Viper, and I thought, where can I take it that would give it a good chance to check out the new tires? There we go. The Tunnel of Trees. Copper Harbor, 11 miles, here we come. So, I've driven this stretch many times in a variety of vehicles, including mountain bikes, believe it or not. But this should be fun. So, it's a nice stretch right at the middle of the Keweenaw Peninsula, just north end of the Copper Country, as we call it. This is the peninsula sticks out into Lake Superior, and very tip of this peninsula is Copper Harbor, a little town that I absolutely love. We'll be there in about 10 minutes, give or take. And this is just what we're going to see the whole way. Just windy, 2-lane blacktop. But it's nice, smooth blacktop. But look at this view right there. There you go. There you go. And we will see some warning signs saying things like watch for trucks entering the highway, because occasionally there are logging trucks out here. Driven through your dusk before. I've seen deer and foxes along the way. So hopefully we won't encounter any deer. I'll try to keep it on my side of the road. What can I tell you? But yeah, when I got the Viper, it had the wrong gear. It had the original tires on it, 21-year-old tires. So it's deceptive going through here, you know, because they say speed limit's 45, but a lot of this stuff right there. And I did pull over to the side of the road to mount all my cameras, and so unfortunately I got some bugs flying around in here, including a couple big old deer flies that want to take my head off, and they'll do it too. So, but just south of here's a little town called Delaware. Much smaller than the state of Delaware, but it's the site of the Delaware mine, old mine that you can take a tour of. And Copper Harbor is a beautiful town, of course. Up near there is Fort Wilkins, old 1840s, 1850s era Army fort that's been maintained by the state of Michigan. Also a bunch of neat little businesses in town. Steve Brim, my friend, is a photographer, and he takes pictures of wildlife and nature up here. He's got a gallery in town. There's a restaurant on the east end of town called the Pines. If you go and look very, very carefully at the wall of the Pines, there's a photograph of a blue Viper with white stripes on the wall. And that would be a Viper being driven by my brother and I years ago. And that's where I first got a taste of what it was like to drive a Viper through here. So, and then of course at the main intersection in town is a gift shop slash motel called the Minnetonka. And oh boy, got a camper ahead of us. The Minnetonka is run by friends of mine. So there's a little town there called Mandan. You see a little sign there. If you go down that road, there was a town there years ago called Mandan. Now it's a ghost town with just some nice old houses back there to look at. And it's a lot of neat area to explore back here. Used to go mountain biking quite a bit up here. And just literally just find a dirt road and head down it. And because it's a peninsula, you can only go so far before you hit water, one way or the other. So, you know, you can't get that lost. Now, my brothers and I came out here more than once and decided to go into uncharted territory. And we found ourselves carrying our bikes for some time, or having to do all kinds of portaging and climbing over things and through things. You know, riding a mountain bike on a trail is one thing, but carrying it through the brush is another. You can see that on one side of the road there's a bit of a drop off. up around this curve will be Lake Medora, Washington Line Road. So up here on the left is Lake Medora. Lake Medora is a neat little lake. It's got an island in the middle of it. And on the other side of Lake Medora is Brockway Mountain, which we'll go up and over shortly. But I've always liked this beautiful lake here. It's very rustic looking, and it's a good landmark to let you know that you're almost to Copper Harbor on US 41. And so up around here a little bit further, we're going to come to the QAnon Mountain Lodge. QAnon Mountain Lodge is a golf course / resort. Cabins. It was built back in the Depression. I think it was maybe a works project, WPA thing, and it's just been a landmark for all these years. And it'll be on our right-hand side, and it'll actually be the top of a very, very big hill. And as we approach Lake Superior, Copper Harbor, we're going to drop down one really, really large steep hill. And it's a hill I've done on a mountain bike many times. You can easily get a bicycle going 50 miles an hour down that hill. And the reason I know is because I've done it before. And it's not that big of an accomplishment. It's gravity. I mean, you know, basically so. But if you're into high speeds on bicycles, obviously it's a great place to bike. Great scenery. I biked this road right here many, many times. And I've also done it with a car many, many times. But it's one of my favorite little stretches of asphalt in Michigan. It's US 41. Sometimes called the Tunnel of Trees, although there's another road down in lower Michigan they also call Tunnel of Trees, so we got a little thing going there. I think many places have got what they call tunnels of trees, so it's not like that's a, you know, trademark or something. Always been very welcoming. As I go through here, I think, you know, Copper Harbor's just around the corner. Sign there says 40 miles per hour. And keep in mind that speeds on roads are calculated for not just the best of conditions like we have right now, but for bad conditions as well. I know people who live up here and they'll talk about how treacherous this road can become in the wintertime. Besides just large quantities of snow, they'll also get, you know, ice, freezing rain, and that kind of stuff. And up here, the winters are just treacherous, but very, very long and cold also. So we're way far north of the 45th. I passed the 45th parallel hours ago, so we're up in North Country here. So, but, like I said, some of my favorite blacktop right through here. Fun on a bicycle, a little more fun on a Viper. And I'm always complaining, as you know, about Michigan asphalt. This, however, you'll notice is very, very nice. No potholes. And here's the QAnon Mountain Lodge on the right-hand side. It's historic, as the sign indicates. And seems to be out golfing today. I don't see anybody golfing today, but we often bring our bikes up here. See, there's the steep downhill sign there with a truck on it. We bring our bikes up here, get a running start, and go through here as fast as we could. Right about here, you duck for wind resistance, and you coast. And from here, you can quite easily coast all the way into town. And might be about a mile, but it's always fun to coast on a bicycle for that length of time. And through here, you get one little last dip, and right here's the high point. That sound effect is no charge. By the way, I'm in neutral right now. I've been in neutral for the last 3 minutes. But there's a guy up here in a truck, so I got no place to go. Down at the bottom of the hill, I'm going to hang a right, visit my friends in Minnetonka. See, they're working today. I'm not sure how many businesses are actually open to foot traffic. But that's one of the places I always visit. They sell my books, but they also sell antiques and souvenirs. And they're one of the places that has souvenirs that aren't just the, you know, I went to such and such place and all I got was a stupid t-shirt. They've actually got nice stuff there. It's like curated stuff there. They have good taste. So I like that. Copper Harbor sign and a sign for a stop sign, which is redundant, I think, but it's a stop sign. But, and then Copper Harbor has one traffic control device, which is a light at this corner, right past the bump sign. Not sure what bump they're talking about though. So that's not much of a bump right there, my friends. But that's going to do it for this little trip. We are in Copper Harbor, and I'm going to pull into Minnetonka and say hello.